We are live. I think, yes, we are live. Hopefully, we are live. Hello, hello, my beautiful people. Hello, and welcome back to our connection circle on Body, Mind, and Soul Providers. We are here. We're excited on a beautiful Sunday morning, afternoon, wherever you are and you're watching, and we're looking forward to connect with you today. We have some beautiful guests today, and we're excited to see and put a shiny light on their beautiful gifts and see where they're coming from. So today we're going to do a quick introduction around about who you are, what's your name, what's your title, and where you're tuning from. So we'll start with Mary Beth.
Hi, I'm Mary Beth Newell, and I've been a registered nurse for almost 45 years, but I'm also an author. I wrote a book, and I come from Sarasota, Florida.
Woohoo, Florida. I love Florida. It's one of my favorite places. Amazing. Let's go to Vinaya.
Yes, gladly. My name is Vinaya, and I'm calling right now from Peru. And I call myself a karmic awareness catalyst. I do coaching and psychic readings.
Ooh, it's exciting. We actually have one more person from Peru that joined our provider circle, and he's a speaking coach. So you guys should connect. He's in Lima. I love that. I love that. Amazing. I'm so looking forward to hear more about you. And
did she freeze?
Froze,
I think she froze.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and get
Vangelis?
yes.
Vangelis, is that how you pronounced it? Great.
Yes, Vangelis. Hi, everyone. I'm Vangelis Kalahiro, and I'm calling from Costa Rica, but I was born in Greece, but I'm living in Costa Rica right now. And I work with entrepreneurs and executive CEOs in their business.
amazing.
Awesome.
That is amazing. My Zoom just freeze for a moment, and I'm like, what's happening? But we're still here. We're still here. That is amazing. Let's hear about Lorna.
I'm here in British Columbia, western side of Canada, and sex and spirit alchemist of the feminine-led life, energy healer, story unweaver, and somatic sexologist.
And Michelle.
Hi, guys. I'm Michelle Beauchard. I call myself the natural entrepreneur. I'm a digital doula. I help people birth their online offer. I'm an emission technician. I help people build the tech that they need for their online offers. And I am honored to be co-host with my beautiful soul sisters, Lorna and Adriana. Adriana, you didn't get to say about yourself. What about you?
Yes. My name is Adriana Di Marvel. I am originally from Romania, but I've been in Canada, tuning in from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And I call myself a communication expert and also a transformational speaker. So I am so excited. Before anything else, I just want to take a moment and say thank you. Thank you to each one of you for being here present, taking your beautiful time to be here with us. So I appreciate time is super precious to all of you, to all of us. So thank you so much for being here. And now I'll pass it on to Lorna to give her a moment so then she can introduce each one of you and give you a stage and a mic to be here to present who you are and your beautiful gifts. So Lorna, take it away.
All right. Thank you, Adriana. And we're so glad that each of you are here. One of the things that we love to do in our circle is this aspect of acknowledging the connections that are already in place, even before we've met. And one of the ways that we do that is as each person is sharing, and Adriana mentioned that you'll have 5 minutes just to really sink in and share about you. And I'll give you some of the questions that are prompts for you in that. So as you're listening is, and again, this comes from our experience, is sometimes that script, okay, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? And I totally don't even hear what other people are saying. So the invitation is just to set aside any script and just even calm the mind and just really be here. And it's amazing the connections that we find that are just sitting here waiting, hidden in plain sight for us to acknowledge. As you share, we're going to have it that the person that has shared prior to you, there'll be something that will connect in, kind of, oh yeah, or I can relate to that, or oh yeah, or something that is a common thing. So that thread from something that they have shared, just acknowledge them and what they have shared and how that connects into something of your own experience. And then go ahead in the rest of the 5 minutes. And that just can be just a brief, it might be 10, 15 second, 30 second connection. but that thread that connects in, and then go ahead and share for the duration of your 5 minutes of you. And again, I'll give you those questions. So that's what we'll do, is connecting those threads. And then the person that shared at the first will take something from the last person that shared and acknowledge there. So that's one of the ways that we weave this circle together, this circle of connection. So I'm feeling interesting. I'm feeling for me to go first today. All right. So I am, so here's the 3 questions. I know them, here they are. Michelle has put them into the chat. Is what are your gifts? The gifts that you bring to the world, not the freebies that, say, well, what are your freebies? No, what are the gifts of you and what you are in the world? The second one is, who do you serve and how? Is that, do you work with couples, women, men, children, and in is it one-on-one, group things, retreats? What is your way that you serve people? It might be a variety. And then why do you do what you do? So those are the 3 things that we'll address. So for me, I am, it seems like I've been a teacher. And Adriana, are you able to do the timer? Mine is still not working. Thank you. My Zoom is just a little bit wonky these days. Thank you so much. It seems like even before I knew it, I was a teacher. I had my children. I'm now a grandma. And but I was in that place, and I would help my children carve pumpkins in school. And the teacher there kept saying, you should be a teacher, you should be a teacher. And I said, no, no, no. And then one day I thought, I wonder if I could be. And within a couple of months, I was enrolled in the teaching career. So I taught school for several years, almost a decade. And then the gift of a health crisis brought me to energy work. So I took that training and then taught energy work again for almost a decade. And then 15 years ago, I had a midlife sexual awakening. And it became a natural thing to take my gift and my love of teaching into the sexual erotic realm of things. And interestingly, not only did a whole bunch of things come about, and I was very disconnected from my sexuality, having been taught save yourself for marriage. And it wasn't until decades later and very dysfunctional sexual experience for myself that I realized that save yourself for marriage, I took it in to mean that my body isn't mine, my sexuality isn't mine. I am for the marriage, I am for the husband, and boundaries, what are those? And so when I brought my work and my teaching now into the sexual erotic realm of things, it was just this natural way to be able to support people in coming back into their own sexuality. Women who came to me who said, I want to be able to connect to my body, my sexuality. Men who arrived to me would say, I want to be the best that I can be for my partner, my wife, my girlfriend. And so, I worked with couples, individuals, and as I kept going on, what I started to hear as well was different awarenesses that came to me about how we do food and how we do sex. Like, we do food in such a natural way. What if we do sex in the same way? What if we could look at it just as a natural appetite, a natural way of nourishing ourselves, even the way that we freely can talk about and learn about it? So that was an awareness. But also what started to happen was poems just started flowing through. Hundreds and hundreds of poems came. And in that, some of them were hot and steamy and sexy, but the majority of them were ones that spoke about our oneness, the spiritual connectedness of who we are, that which we judge. Sometimes it's that piece about being protective against males, because in this patriarchy model that we are currently moving from, that's turning, as the tables are turning or the tides are changing, we've operated in a certain way. And sometimes we've had this sense of difference and duality, but these poems kept showing over and over again the aspect of the connectedness. And there's nothing to defend from, nothing to protect from, nothing to be in power over, but to come back into this oneness of who we are. And through our moving from the duality into the oneness of who we are, not only in, there's feminine and masculine characteristics within each one of us, but it's also that the very essence of who we are in physicality is a reflection of the feminine and masculine, feminine being the spirit, masculine being the form. And so all of us are that living expression of spirit in the human experience. And then interestingly, it also took a part of my awakening also took me into years of being a femdom, a dominatrix. And that domination and submission, again, it just took me into that place of seeing how the human surrender. The dark night of the soul is no different than the masculine surrendering to the spirit. And so my work really is encompassing all of those things, supporting women being empowered, but more than that, awakening to the feminine within each of us, that spirit within each of us. So why do I do what I do? For my own, living my own truth. It's also about supporting people in their own, reconnecting to their bodies, to their sexuality, reconnecting and creating harmony in relationships around, but starting from that harmony within and letting it ripple out, being at peace within these bodies that we're in. I work with individuals one-on-one. I'm getting ready to do a group program, and retreats are on my horizon as well. I do trainings. I do bondage trainings, which really are empowering women and, again, creating these places for men to be in this deep surrender. And why do I do what I do? For me, it just feels like a deep calling, that that's what I'm called to do. And I could try to figure out, creating homes of harmony for children to live in homes of harmony, because parents and adults are at home in their bodies. It just feels like this is the story that is being lived through me, is this expression of this role. So that's a little bit, I think that's all for now. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. What a beautiful space. And I'm just gonna just pause for a moment. I'm just gonna invite us all to breathe in the circle, just to tap in there, because I suspect that there's something even that I share and that each of us will share, that each one of us will be able to connect into. There's something there. And thank you for breathing with me, with us. And Mary Beth, it feels for you to go next. So if you would please pick up a thread, something that I shared, and then go on.
I think it's being a teacher. The teaching aspect of sharing your knowledge and helping people resonated with me. Some of my gifts, well, being a registered nurse, I know about health and wellness, but I'm a real positive person, a can-do person, compassionate, very passionate about health and wellness. So I think that those are some of my gifts. I wrote the book, and it's Anti-Aging and Secrets of Healthy Living to Stop the Clock. So it's a guide to look younger, feel fantastic, and wow the world. So one of the reasons that I wrote the book is years and years and years that I look younger than I actually am. And people would say, "What are you doing?" And so I would tell them, I thought everybody knew the same stuff I knew to do. And repeatedly, people would say, "You should write a book." So it took me about 15 years to get to the point that I wrote it all down. But part of the reason that I wrote it is people have such a busy lifestyle. I don't care if you're in your 20s or 30s and raising kids, if you have a full-fledged career, even if you're retired, people are busy. They find stuff to do. So how do you incorporate what we know we're supposed to do into a busy lifestyle? And even small changes can have big results. So I focused the book on 5 different core areas. So it's exercise, how do you get your exercise in? Everybody can't go to the gym for an hour every day. Nutrition, what are some tips and tricks for you to try to eat better? Self-care, which sort of resonates with what you were talking about as well, Lorna. How do you find the time, even if it's even 15 minutes a day? You have to focus on your self-care, because especially with women, we give and we give and we give and we give to everybody else, and we always put ourselves last, or a lot of people do. Or how do you say no and not feel guilty as a woman? So I have tips related to that, as well as skincare. I like a more holistic approach to managing your skincare. So what do you do to improve your skin or try to look better without Botox, without injectables? What else is out there to help you look the best you can, as well as hair and makeup? One of the things that I dated someone from France, and he was very, very surprised at American women. He felt that they followed whatever the latest trend was. And the latest trend doesn't always look good on everybody. So he couldn't understand why American women don't figure out what your best trait is and really focus on that. And don't worry about the other things, the trendy color that makes you look sallow or other things like that. So I approached the book in more of a like girlfriend talking to a girlfriend and trying to motivate and inspire people, giving them ideas. I've gotten a lot of feedback that it's like, oh, I never thought of that, or oh yeah, I could do that. So these little changes. So I have the book. I've also been doing speaking engagements, and I do private coaching with people. And why do I do what I do? I think I almost mentioned it, that I don't want to keep all these things to myself. I want to share the secrets and the tips so that other people can feel empowered of taking control of their nutrition, figuring out how to get the self-care in, and really to motivate and inspire people to whatever resonates with them, but something will, to improve their health, appearance, or well-being.
Amazing. I love that. And you look fantastic. So thank you for being here and for sharing that. And I am looking forward to seeing your links in the below. And for those of you watching on replay, make sure that if you need something like that, or if you need support like Lorna is providing, or our other guests will tell you about, please make sure that you connect with folks in the comments, and we'll get you guys to drop your links to how people can get a hold of you, and how we can get your book, Mary Beth.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And that'll be in the comments down in the Facebook group in underneath our replay here of the video, which will be great. So that they're there going forward. So that's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mary Beth, for sharing. Vangelis, if you would please now share with us. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you. Vangelis Kalahiro, and the teaching aspect and the wellness and well-being is what resonated a lot with me. I was born in Greece, and I was adopted by a German family at the age of 2. And the reason I was adopted was because my father in Greece did not want children, so he put me into an orphanage. And my first language is Greek, second language is German. I learned English in school and grew up in San Antonio, Texas. So I speak Spanish fluently as well. And my story revolves around having my life dictated to me. I grew up in a very strict, restrictive religious environment where, the joke, if I want your opinion, I'll give it to you. It wasn't really a joke. It was, this is how you live. This is what you do. This is what you think. And this is how you think. And I had this ability for music. And when I was 4 years old, my mom gave me an Elvis Presley GI Blues album, and I wanted to do music. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to be in music. I wanted to be in movies. But according to my church, that was satanic. And according to my school counselors, music is not a career. So slowly by slowly, I was not living my life. But I was very successful. I mean, I've been in the business technology world for 46 years. I started in 1979, IBM, systems engineer, administration, salesperson, instructor. I've been teaching in the technology world for the past 30 years, maybe 35. And I was traveling every week. I mean, every week, leave Saturday, come back home Friday, and over 5 million airline miles. And I've had several businesses. I've been a part of 3 startups, principal owner in one of them, board of directors. And I was in all of the new technologies, everything. And about 2004, I'm living in a $1.3 million home in California with an ocean view, totally empty. I'm just totally unfulfilled. I don't even like my life. Just nothing. And I felt trapped because I'm living in this $1 million neighborhood and sharing, I feel sad. Like, what do you mean? You should be grateful. Come on, you should be appreciative. Who am I going to talk to now? So it was probably years later where I started reading books. Now, we weren't allowed to read any other book than the Bible. That was it. In fact, we had bonfires. If you had anything non-biblical or non-Christian, we had to burn it. So it, like I mean, it was really restricted. So I finally in 2012, 2009, I left all of it. Just decided I'm out of here. That is when my life changed. And I started attracting mentors and people in my life that, I mean, all the things that you were mentioning, Lorna, about the healing and gifts and all that stuff, that was me. And so I started, I mean, the things that I've seen, I didn't even believe. I thought that was just in the days of Krishna and Jesus and Buddha, right? I've seen things that now are just unbelievable. I mean, working with fourth dimension and fifth dimension, all that kind of stuff. So the reason I'm doing what I'm doing now is because through all my years of traveling, I met thousands of professionals, 6, 7, 8-figure incomes just like me, but embarrassed to say they need help. Yeah, I taught rocket scientists at Cape Canaveral. I don't believe in this energy stuff. After about an hour, they're like, really? So I can get into doors that most people can't because I'm not seen as a therapist or a healing person. I'm seen as a technical business consultant. So that's what I'm doing. I'm actually working with people who are very, very successful, but they're just sad like me, empty, unfulfilled. And I help them figure out what beliefs are really in their head that are theirs and which ones are not. So it's working with people who can find where they really are, help reclaim their life back. And the reason I like what I'm doing is a reason I'm doing what I'm doing is because the more I am me, the more that heals everyone around me. Thank you.
Thank you. It felt like a little bit of a mic drop there for all of us.
Oh yeah. Oh my.
We all can relate to that. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. It starts within. Thank you so much, Vangelis, for sharing. Now you know why we love this circle, creating this, and you made it just, it's so beautiful.
It's amazing because just the two of you that shared, I'm just like, wow, I'm with some people that understand some things that I like. Yeah.
Yeah, like we say, is welcome home. Yeah. So beautiful. Thank you. Michelle, it feels to go for you now, please.
Oh, I was so hoping that it would because I'm just like jazzed about that. Amazing. There's so many things I resonated with it about it. Everything from the yeah, I didn't have the restrictive stuff so much, but the unfulfilled, the coming home to me, and the more that I am myself, the more that I serve my purpose, the more that I create the reality, and perform is one of the pieces of the universal clockworks that helps deliver other people's divine purposes, because I act as a vector in a sense for other people's stuff. And so I really deeply appreciated that, and the tech stuff, so I'm really digging that because so I am a biologist by formal training, but I'm now a social purpose entrepreneur and digital doula, digital marketing, online offer crafting, and then helping people understand their offer stack, their low, mid, high tickets and how those all work together in their offer ecosystem. I frame everything in terms of nature because that's how my mind works. That's how I feel the real world works. I'm very connected to nature. I draw. I like seeing the energy structure behind it, and I feel like it's a better model for business than business is currently conducted. And I feel like business as it's being conducted right now is kind of a monoculture. And it's and that as we reintroduce our soul's purposes into business and we design business around our soul's purposes, that re-diversifies the business ecosystem. So, but how does like a science geek biology nerd turn into a digital marketer and support people in online offer crafting to deliver their soul's purpose? My why is my beautiful son and daughter, and my son is now 20, and he is on this autism spectrum, severely nonverbal and self-injurious and aggressive sometimes, and so our family has had a huge journey in supporting his needs. And so, and then my daughter's beautiful. She's about to turn 17 and she's going on 31. And so that's a whole thing into itself. But as we've traveled together here on planet Earth and Earth School, we've each learned our different parts. And learning how to support him, it came to the point where I needed the systems failed him. I came home to serve him, home from work, had to quit my job to serve him with his homeschool, and because the systems couldn't take him. And so essentially I created a brick and mortar business where I was helping other people also with their kids, because once you do it for you, it doesn't make sense not to help other people too. So, but COVID came, we shut it down because I didn't want to we were out in home and community helping people with respite and homeschool, and we didn't want to vector it around. So I turned digital, and as I went through probably 100 grand worth of training, and the whole Tony Robbins suite and all of the self-development stuff, it became clear to me that, what I had been doing with the respite and homeschool and helping people was good for the parents, good for the workers, good for the kids, but it wasn't sustainable as a business. And what I needed was my mama bear kicked in, and I was like, I need a bake sale to subsidize this critical function to deliver respite and ease and support for families that were exhausted like mine. And so but I wanted to serve, and I was serving my community online. And I just naturally kind of developed in, okay, well, how can we turn this into the bake sale? And so I started doing online offer coaching, and that was working. And eventually, long story short, I did a bunch of tech training and learned about CRMs and doing all the things about websites and funnels and affiliate programs and subscription communities and how to build all that, and how that all sales and how all that works together when you're an online entrepreneur. So now and my son has taught me that everyone has that gift inside them, even when you can't speak it. And so I love to help people bring their joy, bring their soul's purpose out into businesses, help them frame it, help them deliver it, help them build the tech to do it. And the revenues that I generate are going to go to subsidizing respite and homeschool care. So I'm a social purpose entrepreneur. So that's me in a nutshell. And I'm just delighted to be here with you guys and aligned with you. I feel a lot of love in the room, and it's amazing to have you here in Connection Circle.
Thank you, Michelle, for sharing. It's powerful, beautiful. Vinaya, I'm going to have you please go next.
Okay. So it's a challenge to hook onto something what just been said, because my life was totally different. I grew up normal in Germany, middle class, absolutely boring. And when I decided at 22 that this is not life, I went on a journey to India overland and on the search for a purpose, and not knowing what I'm actually looking for. But I knew that must be something more to life than meets the eye, so to speak. So I went on a search. I found various masters, and experiencing that, yes, there is more to life. There is a state where we can be in utter bliss and be totally ourselves with no worries. So my focus went inward, and I was getting rid of my programs, which took quite a few years. At the same time, all my life, I was somewhat psychic, even though that's the wrong word. But I always knew what's behind the story when people are not happy or angry or, yeah. So with the love of crystals, which I do for like over 50 years, I suddenly had the intuition to help people to have a fantastic life, find themselves, and be themselves, no matter the cost. Because who is the most important person in the universe? Me. And that goes for everybody, right? So first we need to look at ourselves. Who am I really? And what is my life purpose? Why am I here? How can I be content? What is my gift? And through my ability to connect with the higher self of people, I give them a path. I give them an insight. What is their gift? What is their purpose? How do I get there? How do I get out of this thing that was said before, like, how can I say no without feeling guilty? Well, you have to say no. And the guilt is just looking at where is that coming from? Ah, that's my old mother, or that's my father, or that's a priest, or whoever gave me some ideas which have nothing to do with me. Because, like, looking around into the universe, there is never, ever, even the smallest insect, nothing is the same. We are all unique. And stepping into this uniqueness, accepting myself the way I am, no matter if you like it or not, because that's none of my business. You look from a different perspective. You see things from a different upbringing. Yeah, Christian or whatever. It has nothing to do necessarily with religion, but also the society gives us ideas how we are supposed to be. 99.9999999 and so on %, that's not true. So when I stepped into my own power, into my own beingness, and experiencing life as an absolute amazing adventure and just a wow experience, helping people to step into the same thing is just like so beautiful for me. It's my purpose. That's why I'm here, because I never really understood, even when I was young, like, how do you think? How do you figure this one out? That doesn't make any sense. So there was always already like a different understanding or awareness about how life can be. And life is an absolute amazing adventure and can be a celebration when we step into ourselves and accept that we are different, that we are absolutely perfect, because the universe never created anything imperfect. At least I haven't found anything yet. Everything has its place and works together and is absolutely perfect. Like a master once said, the universe would be less without this butterfly. Yes, it would be less without that butterfly, and it's definitely less without you. So accept yourself the way you are and find out who you really are. And why am I doing this? It's just the most amazing thing and joy to see people stepping into their power in their beingness and lighting up and like starting to glow and yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Vinaya. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Vinaya, do you work one-on-one with people? Do you do group things? How do you share your work?
I work one-on-one with people, either just crystal reading. I use crystals for that. I do coaching one-on-one, and on the side of that, with my partner, we do 5-MeO DMT retreats, which is like a 7-week container where we either work with groups, either just women or mixed, or single persons to get rid of the story.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Adriana, if you'll please now share with us.
I feel like a kid in a candy shop because I find my friends. I find my friends. It's so good to find my friends that I can speak the same language and they actually understand me and I understand them. Oh, feels so good. So thank you for each one of you for sharing that. Oh, when it comes to why I do what I do, or who I am, what are my gifts, it started with a story. We all have a story. We all have something that make us and brought us and push us to this pathway. Doesn't matter how many times I run away from that path, it keep pushing me to this pathway. And this has happened to me. I grew up in Romania in a very indoctrinated culture in the 80s, you know, the patriarchal culture. I grew up with so many beliefs on so many things that I should be this way and this is the only way I should be. And I'm a little girl. I don't ask questions, even if I had a million questions to ask. I was a very curious child. And I had all these questions, why people suffer, why people fight. My parents used to fight and scream at each other and abuse and so many things. And I grew up in that, knowing that that is my normal. And I accepted it because I didn't know best. But I always had that something inside of me keep asking you, what if everything is this here is not okay and maybe it's a lie, maybe we shouldn't be this way. And I always been curious, and that pulled me throughout my life. I went through divorce, I went through struggle, to health problems, and all these things keep nudging me to wake up because I was living in a lie with myself, because I grow up to be something else or someone else that wasn't me. And then I realized that the way we communicate with ourselves and the way we communicate with others, it's most of the root cause of all our problems. I saw my parents fighting and screaming at each other, but I could see underneath that, crying to each other, unconsciously saying, see me, hear me, understand me. And that was something that I've been fascinated all these years. What is behind the stories that we all say today? What is behind the things that we have learned to be and do? And I started in my own journey of understanding who I am, why I'm here. Why I'm here? If I'm here, that means there's a reason. And I started discovering that the way I communicate with myself and the way I communicate with others is the root cause of everything. Because we as human, we connect. Even the word communication is community. The word means that we come together, co-unity, come together. To communicate is to connect with each other. And that was my biggest why, is that if people are struggling with communication, it's because they've never been taught how to communicate with themselves and with others. And if we want to have better, stronger relationships and bring who we are, to embrace the beautiness and the perfectionism of who we are, then we need to learn how to communicate with all of us. And that brought me to doing all the things that people do. Like us, we did self-development, Tony Robbins, from Tony Robbins to IFS, to internal family system, to family constellation, to NLP, to trying to figure out what's happening inside and why it's not congruent with how we present ourselves outside. And that war, as like we have to find the peace. And that brought me to want to speak, because I find my voice and I know my voice matter, and I know I can speak from not just for me, but for so many people that don't have the courage to speak. And I love to speak with, first of all, entrepreneurs and incorporate, because most of the entrepreneurs are the leaders of this life, of this earth. And if more leaders know how to communicate properly to their people, then they will lead a life, and we grow children in a different way, because all leaders are parents too. And when we create a better communication and connection deep with our higher selves, with the people around us, then this world is impossible not to we start seeing how beautiful and perfect it is, exactly how it is, because we have so many things to learn. So I do that on stages, speaking, coaching one-on-one and groups, and every single person that is willing to hear me, I'm there to speak the truth and bring the authenticity, because that's what I'm all about. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adriana. And as I pick up a thread from what you shared, the piece that came through that really stood out was that aspect of communicating not only with others, but of communicating with ourselves, and how we're often not taught to do that. And I recognize that that's sort of been a theme of everything that each one of us has shared, that journey back home of connecting with ourselves, finding our own voice, expressing ourselves, bringing people back into that place of having the peace, that connection to themselves, and seeing things beyond what can be seen, that's up front. So thank you for that. Thank you, each one of you, for, and I just get shivers as I'm saying this, it's just for the potency that you are and of what you have shared. I think that as we come here, it's just another part where we tap into and we're really seeing the oneness, the wholeness of who we are. And each one of us, these beautiful facets of this one diamond, if you will, of who we are, of life itself. So thank you, each one, for sharing, for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Michelle's going to take us into round 3. We have another opportunity for you to reflect and to express. So Michelle, if you will please.
Well, and before we do that, I wanted to catch just what you said there, Adriana, about and tie it to the fact that the reason why we started this group was to create an authentic place, kind of like a digital replication of that old-timey mom and pop network where we knew who each other were, and how we were showing up, and who, how we were serving. And I find that, like, in this new realm, kind of packaging up our soul's purpose for for business is kind of a sensitive topic, but we also love to create the space where you being yourself and providing your authentic gift can help lead you to connection with the people who need you, so that you can, and vice versa. We want people who are looking for your services to be able to find a safe space where they can come and take a look at a suite of providers and get to know, like, and trust, and hear from you. And so that's why these connection circles are so important, because they're literally like a standing video business card in a sense, so that people can really go, oh my gosh, I love Benaya's approach. Oh my God, and they, oh, I need Mary Beth's book, and that we provide that connection. So, and we really love to make sure that we embody the principle that we're not selling, we're serving, and that there are opportunities to have sales, but it's really out of a sense of trying to connect people with solutions that they need for the next step in their life that we're after here in this group. So we're delighted to have you here. We want to continue to allow space for each of you individually to have a one-on-one interview, if you would like, to cast into the group to further deep dive into each of your opportunities, as well as, that make some more connection in the group. And we also have a provider circle, and I'll drop the link for that in the comments, that helps from a business perspective, because often wellness providers struggle with the whole piece about visibility and sales and all of that stuff. So we've created some solutions around that. But right now, what I wanted to do is focus in again on each of you, because we're so blessed to have you here in the group as resource people, as humans, as gifts, and so delighted for what you've shared today. I would love to hear how you felt about the space. So if you could think of a word that would encapsulate how you found the session today, and then maybe share that with us, and any closing thoughts or things that you, I should have said this, any last things or threads that you wanted to pull between the conversations to create more connections. So I'm actually feeling to start with Adriana today. What's your word for today?
For me, I actually, can I be like a child? Can I have two? Can I have two?
Yes, you can have two.
The first one that came is unity, because I feel like we all are coming to we have the same purpose, more or less. We are going to the same thing. And also one other part of me came and says provocative, because we here to provoke some things in people so they can wake up. So that will be the two things that came up to me.
Amazing. Thank you. Unity and provocative. Okay, cool. Mary Beth, what do you think the word was for you?
Enlightening. I
Ah.
really liked the variety of what people do. I also found a thread of energy. Okay, so I know, Lorna wanted us to take breaths and everything, but that's okay because that still provides us with energy. But I think everyone was focused on some type of energy, finding yourself. And the other thing that I thought came through very strongly is it's okay to be you.
So, how would I put that in a word? What would you pick one?
Enlightening.
Enlightening. That was the one. I'm so sorry. I was
Yeah, I went
spaced out there.
on
I'm like,
to talk a little bit more, but yes, that was my word.
all right, enlightening. I am, sometimes my ADHD gets the better of me. Bongolese, I keep mispronouncing your name. I'm so sorry because I love what you do and I want to connect afterwards so I can get it right. What is your word for today?
Vangelis, right?
And
Okay.
Kelly's, thank you.
It's the word is universal, because I feel so connected. And I think everybody here, especially when Vinaya was saying that the universe, everything has to be perfect for the universe to be perfect. And when you believe that, that is so powerful. So universal, I guess.
Thank you. Appreciate you. And I really do feel the depth of what you do, having come out of those restrictions and helping people sort out what's them and what's not. That was a really beautiful piece you shared. So thank you for that. That takes a long time, and to be able to develop that skill to help other people to do it is really amazing.
Well,
Vinaya, oh,
no, I'm sorry,
go ahead.
I was just going to mention the thing that Adriana talked about, really the movers and shakers. If you get those people going, that has the biggest impact. So that was huge for me. Thank you, Adriana, for sharing.
Yeah, 100%. Vinaya, what was your word for today?
Finally, family. So that would be the word, which is two words actually, but and I would like to say something. I made myself a note. It was said, it is okay to be you. I disagree. It is most important to be you, and that's the only person you can be. How can you be somebody else? It's impossible. And we all try, and that's why we're all miserable and have a hard time, and life is hell. No, we need to be ourselves. Ha.
Amazing, right? Because if we aren't ourselves, how's the universe supposed to use us to be the clockworks? Like we cannot show up to function in the ecosystem if we are not
Yes.
a bee and a flower. Got to be different to be able to
It's not
pollinate.
possible. I'm not Buddha, and I can never be. I'm not you. I can never be. I can only be myself, which is one of the most difficult things. But once I am myself, my work is done, because then I just need to be, and that does ripples around me. And then we serve and help without doing anything. We are just being ourselves. Yeah.
Oh, I love this. Okay, so and it was my internet glitched when you said something family. What was the first word?
Oh, finally, family.
Finally, family. All right. Amazing. What an honor to feel that, to have you here and have you feel that way. Lorna, what's your word?
And sort of seeing what comes. And interesting, the word is nakedness. And that aspect of the gift of being human, right? Let's put on all of these clothes, these identities, these senses of who we are, and the joy of the nakedness that comes as we let go of that which is not us. We come back home to who we are. So
Wow. Okay. My word I was going to choose authentic, but I think I need to go with integrity, because I feel like each person held their own integrity. Like they held the space that is theirs. You each showed up as yourselves, and it was beautiful. And yeah, we appreciate having you here and sharing time with us in the Connection Circle. Hope you'll book a one-to-one so that we can support and lift you up there, and continue to participate and connect with people who need you here in the Body, Mind, and Soul Network. And we're looking forward to a couple of things. We're starting to talk about some events coming up that will that will hopefully also bring sort of like, we've got like these health providers, and now we want to get the patients, so we're kind of like getting a little bit more mixing going on. The one-to-one interviews, you should get an email afterwards that has a link that you can book. We'll also put the link for the Provider Circle and the Connection Circle. If you know anybody else who would benefit from being on Connection Circle, please invite them into the group. That would be a wonderful gift for us. And yeah, we'll
And come back again.
and come back again on
Come back
Connection
again.
Circle at any time. Yeah, we're just delighted to have you, such high quality, high caliber people with us. And now that we know you, we can't unknow you. So I'll be thinking about, I need to send this to Vangelis.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Adriana, Lerna, did I forget anything?
No, that's everything.
All right, Adriana.
We are excited. We want to say thank you again for your beautiful gifts and sharings with all of us. We had a couple of people. I see Teresa, Lacombe, Chris, and Dallas are watching us online, and we'll love to, for sure. Just please drop your links and some comments into our live stream there on our group. And also, if you have any questions or anything, just please let us know. We are here to support you and help you. We'd love to see you again. Come and play with us again, because we love to come and play and be ourselves and have some fun. It's always an honor. It's incredible for me. It's a privilege to be around and meet people from all over the world that I couldn't have another way, this opportunity to connect with each one of you. And gives me hope that there are more and more people are waking up to step back into their own seat of who they are and allow those gifts to come up through them and serve the world, because that's why we're here. In the end, we're here to serve the world. It becomes, I truly believe that it became our duty once we woke up and once we had the opportunity to have a taste of what is meant to be you, to give us the opportunity and the duty to now go and serve others the way we were served by others. So thank you so much for being here. We truly appreciate each one of you. So looking forward to see the one-on-one interview so we can dive deeper into your work and your gifts. And we'll see you around on maybe another Connection Circle. So for all the people that are watching this live or replay, please comment below, connect with these beautiful people here. Say hello, don't be shy. And connect with them, collaborate, because we're here to connect, collaborate, and this is how we're gonna ripple effect this goodness all over the world. So bye-bye, everyone. Big kiss. See you next time.
You can come off mic and say goodbye to each other, say hi to each other.
Hello, goodbye.